Do you like the face-to-face? What the fuck was this? What? Who thought that it was going to be a good idea to sell this pay-per-view match by having Moxley stand in the ring and browbeat his opponent who had no answer whatsoever and no rebuttal and looked like a parking attendant?
And then Moxley repeated himself
several times. It's okay, Tanahashi, right? He's one of their top guys. I will bet you $100 cash American money, Brian Last, that was not his suit. They found no.
I didn't even think of that.
They found a suit. They said, well, we got to have this guy. What could he have come in that they felt was a better way to present him on national television? What could he have been dressed in before they said, no, wear this? Tanahashi, the big New Japan star, comes out for a face-to-face with Jon Moxley in the ring. And they both get in the ring and stare at each other. There is no interviewer. And one of the people doing the face-to-face apparently does not speak English. So Moxley gets the microphone and stands there and just browbeats Tanahashi. He's chased him everywhere. He's chased him in New Japan, and he's chased him on the bullet train, and he's looked in cars and in bars.
I knew it. I knew you were.
And here you are. And Tanahashi is standing there. He's allegedly the top star of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's in not a poorly fitting suit, in somebody else's suit that was not at all built or sewn for a person of this size or body type. It's so wrinkled it looks like somebody's been carrying it around in their wallet and just took it out for him to put on. He's got multicolored tennis shoes and a T-shirt on underneath this fucking blousy elephant coat, and he looks like an extra in a Raymond Chow Kung Fu movie. And this is how that they expect to get an unknown Japanese superstar over to an American audience. He comes out looking like an explosion in a Salvation Army drop box, stands there while Moxley browbeats him and fucking dresses him down verbally for minutes at a time, while he stands there with no rebuttal and no microphone in his hand. And Moxley's having a meltdown. And finally, as Tanahashi takes the microphone, Judas plays. And here comes Jericho and Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti, and Jericho is saying to Moxley that he should have that spot. He should be wrestling the fucking unkempt Japanese fellow in the ring standing there. And Tanahashi finally speaks and says, Jericho, shut up. And that was it. That's all he said. And Jericho says, well, get 'em, boys. And all of his Jericho appreciators again run out from the back. But as they're jumping in the ring, Lance Archer and some fucking fella named Desperado. Have we ever seen Desperado before on this television program?
I'm not certain.
I've heard the song.
I hate the song.
Desperado?
It's the worst Eagles song.
But not when Terry Funk used it as
that was the worst usage of it ever. I hate Paul Heyman for that. That was the worst usage of it. Terry Funk should not be coming out to a slow love song to cowboys.
It's not a love song.
It's a love song to cowboys. Glenn Fry and
you got to come to your
senses.
You've been out riding fences for so long now. Anyway, somebody needs to come to their senses because Lance Archer and Desperado jumped in the ring from behind, and then the Jericho appreciators hit from there was 9 guys in the ring in street clothes fighting. And you couldn't tell who anybody was. And while the fight's going on, Jericho introduces Sammy and Ty as the new members of the Jericho appreciators. And I swear to God, while it was Was old Tanahashi, he was getting the shit kicked out of him in his wrinkled suit while Jericho was rattling off. It's either a 6-man tag or an 8-man tag for the pay-per-view with him and the Suzuki Goons and a bunch of names that he couldn't even hardly pronounce, but I couldn't understand it and never heard before. Well, some of the job guys are still kicking some of the other job guys. And Jericho's plugging this. And then suddenly, here comes Kingston and Santana and Ortiz with the bald head. And they hit the ring and start fighting. And Tanahashi does some kind of move to somebody. And that's the only thing that he did or said in the offensive. It was offensive, all right, in this whole segment. So now everybody in the United States of America thinks Tanahashi is a superstar, right? They're like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck was this?
Remember I said a few weeks ago on the show that I was convinced that maybe Tony Khan was trying to kill the Hardys? I'm convinced Tony Khan may be trying to kill New Japan in America. Because there are fans in New Japan who are not looking forward to this pay-per-view. I don't understand how anyone would really want to see this pay-per-view. It's been built up horribly, just random people running out and being named all the time. Jericho, you can't even say anything about him. Excalibur just throws a million names jumbled together at you. You have no idea what he's talking about. And then he just starts citing things that are irrelevant to anything happening. This pay-per-view will probably do well because AEW fans purchase AEW products. But the build-up and booking to this pay-per-view has been atrocious. I wish I didn't have to watch it. More than any other pay-per-view AEW has done.
Wait a minute, are we going to watch this fucking thing?
This is the one I have the least interest in.
We got to watch it?
I thought
we got to watch the Suzuki Goons and Guadalajara Tanahashi?
Boy, no Danielson, no Punk. No MJF, this show, no Cody, let's just say that too. This show feels it. This show is so bad, and hopefully Tony Khan learns from this because he wants this New Japan pay-per-view to be an annual thing, I heard him say. These shows leading up to this pay-per-view make me hate New Japan and not want to see it anymore. It's ruining the show.
Well, and also, I even know, I know 2 names from New Japan that they're native guys, the Japanese fellows, not the Americans. I know the Tanahashi and Okada are the big deals. And so far, they've made Tanahashi look worse than fucking Dick to Go and Taka Michinoku and
Dick
whatever. That's what we used to call him, Dick to Go. So anyway, let's speed this up a little bit. Next match, Miro against the other Page. Who's the heel here? The guy that wants to evict God or the guy with the heel manager? Miro won. Britt Baker versus Toni Storm. They started 100 miles an hour with a hockey fight, went to the floor and stayed there. They got in the ring and did one spot, and then the heels pulled Toni Storm back out to the floor. But Thunder Rosa ran out and chased Jamie Hayter off, and they went to the break. And when they came back, I forgot to. Tony Schiavone was in the back with Stokely Carmichael and Willow Nightingale, and they did a little comedy bit. At least Willow has a little personality. What were you going to say?
I just wanted to say Toni Storm did an interview before the match. It was actually a really, really good interview. It was one of the better interviews that any of the women in AEW have ever done, I think.
They should have put it on earlier in the program. It was getting really late at this point.